Hi, this is Jenna.
And this is Heather.
And this is Conspiracies Unlocked. And today is our Bonasode number 4. This one will actually be number 4, I think. So, today we are going to do Rugrats. I don't know if any of you guys remember, but in the 90's it was a very popular cartoon for elementary school kids in the early 90's. And they actually came back on Nickelodeon, and they came back out and had another, like a sequel, Rugrats All Grown Up, in 2002, I think they came back out. They had 2 movies, one where they went on an adventure in America, and then one where they went to Paris.
Oh, I never saw those.
2 different movies. So pretty much Rugrats was a cartoon that was through the eyes of a toddler.
From Nickelodeon, right?
From Nickelodeon. Mm-hmm. And they're able to talk. And, I mean, the adults thought they were just, like, babbling and couldn't understand them. Mm-hmm. But the kids could understand each other. And they'd go on adventures. And the group leader was Tommy, a brave, pantless, almost 2-year-old, strutting around in a blue shirt, a diaper. And he always had a screwdriver in his diaper so he could escape the playpen or crib or wherever he was.
I remember that.
I remember he would like dig around and come out with tools. Most playdates and episodes occurred in his house with his mom, Dee Dee, and his father, a toy inventor named Stu. He lived there with Stu's father, Lou, who watches the babies a lot. And when I say watches, he usually just naps.
Yes.
And the babies just go around and just do whatever. And they get into so much trouble, they get lost, but they always end up back where they need to be. And then they have their dog Spike, and Tommy rode him around the house like a horse on most episodes, and he was like their leader, like he would help them get to places. He would get them out of situations. He would guard them whenever they were out and about.
He was basically like the nanny, though.
Yeah, he was like their mascot, nanny, everything. In the later episodes, Tommy, because of the first movie, Tommy got a little brother named Dylan. Dill Pickles for short. Dill. Like a dill pickle.
Yes.
And he, and every other baby can talk, but Dill never does. He just always babbles like a baby. He never talks until obviously all grown up, which happens 10 years later. So at this point, Dylan would be 11 or 12, and that's why he can talk, because he grew up, right?
Well, I hope he can talk by 11 or 12.
Yeah. So his best friend was a 2-year-old scaredy cat named Chucky. He had glasses and red hair. Oh, with the red hair.
And I remember Chucky.
His mother died when he was born.
Chucky was my favorite.
Yeah. So, well, we don't even know when she actually died. She might have died during childbirth or like a car accident. Either way, 2-year-old. It was just him and his very overprotective dad. Mm-hmm. And then there were the twins, about 1 or 2 years old, Phil and Lil, and their mom was very pro-feminine rights. She was all about, like, let's smash him and get him, and their dad was super...
Yes, I remember
and their dad was super introverted and would just do whatever mom wanted.
But weren't the twins kind of, like, they were ruthless, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they were. They were, like...
They were, I remember...
Stop it, Philip! Stop it, Lillian! And they'd start fighting or
constantly.
Yeah. That was like their big thing. Stop it, Philip! Stop it, Lillian! Philip! Lillian!
Yes, I remember.
And then there's Tommy's cousin, Angelica. And she
was like the queen bee, though.
Yeah, she's always over and torments the babies and trying to ruin and foil all their plans. She is 4 and she is mean as fuck.
Yeah.
She was like the spoiled brat. She was a bully. I mean, ultimately.
She was,
and she's an only child. And her mom...
She got the only child syndrome.
She has the total only child princess syndrome. And her mom is always working and too busy. So her mom would just be like, okay, sweetie, go buy a horse, whatever you need. Bye, go. Always on the phone. Mm-hmm. And her dad was Stu's brother, Drew. And he was always busy talking to Stu, but he was bullying Stu as well, being like, your toy inventions will never take off.
Yeah.
This is bullshit. Hey,
and
little
that's probably
bro.
where she learned it, too.
Mm-hmm. And then Angelica has her doll named Cynthia.
Oh, Cynthia.
That was
remember.
like, yeah. She always had it around, and that's like her best friend. And she also had a white fluffy cat. And
But I remember that doll was creepy though too.
it would have like patchy hair and stuff, so obviously she's had it forever.
Yeah, but I remember like she would make it do things and stuff that were like, remember? Like, I don't know, sometimes I thought that little doll was possessed or something.
Yeah, by Angelica.
It's like she has this creepy little
but she would like
possessed doll.
She would just like play with the doll like it was real, so that's probably why. And if the babies like lost Cynthia, then it was like a big deal, like, oh my god, Cynthia's gone! Ah!
Yeah, because it was like her little baby.
Yeah, and then she also had the white fluffy cat that made appearances every so often, and she was just as mean. The cat would be like to like Spike and stuff.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And then in later episodes, Susie is introduced, and she's also 4 years old, and she is portrayed as Angelica's friend. However, she is super nice, sweet as can be little girl that helps the babies more or less and makes the babies feel special and tries to like stop Angelica and be like, Angelica, that's so mean.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't be a bitch. Like, no, come on, little Tommy. Let's go this way.
It's almost like she's just friends with her to, like, protect the other kids or something.
Yeah, well, I think they were always, like, stuck together because their parents were always together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I think Angelica moves in next door to Tommy, and so that's why she's always over. So, anyways, this conspiracy theory is super dark, and so I first heard about it when, probably in, like, 2006 or 7 on the internet. And back then, there wasn't a lot of, like, things like that on the internet.
Yeah,
like
especially Rugrats. I've never heard anything. Yeah,
and so nowadays they twist shit on Disney movies all the time, and they're like, oh, listen to this, and they try to, like, whatever. This was the first time that they ruined something for me, that the internet, like, ruined something, and I'm like, I'll never be, this is my childhood. Like,
not Rugrats.
Oh my god, who are these mean people online? I can't handle it. Like, so it's really, really fucked up. And the more you think about it, the more you realize that it could totally be true.
Oh my gosh, so, I'm dying to know.
It's not because the creator said it's not, but it all fits and it all works.
Yeah.
So, Angelica's real mom was a heroin addict.
Oh.
When she was born, and so she used way too many drugs with Angelica when she was pregnant, and so Angelica ended up with bipolar schizophrenic disorder.
Oh, so she was probably addicted to the heroin when she was born, and then had to go through some kind of withdrawals that caused some kind of brain chemical imbalance or something. Then.
Yeah. So then her real mother OD'd on heroin and died when Angelica was like 1 or 2.
Aw.
That's why she is so close to Cynthia, because it's the only thing that reminds her of her mom, because...
The creepy possessed doll.
Yeah, and that's why it's all, like, raggedy, and the hair's all patchy and gone, and...
That's all she has.
That's all she has, and her mom in the show is actually her stepmother, and that's why she's always so distant and busy.
Oh, yeah, it's not the same.
And this is substantiated because while Angelica gets everything she wants in life, she still carries around her Cynthia doll.
Yeah.
That has messed up, choppy, half-bald, and raggedy clothes. It is because this is the only thing Angelica has to remember mom of.
I wonder if her mom gave it to her before she died.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that makes a lot of sense.
As a way to cope with her mental state, as well as her crappy stepmom, she made up an imaginary world.
That makes a lot of sense. It's coping skills. She had to come up with her own coping skills.
And so she made an imaginary world.
And then that's why she bullies everybody, because she's angry because she doesn't have her mom.
Okay. Or we can cue the babies now in her imaginary world.
Wait a minute.
This is all in Angelica's mind.
I'm getting what you're saying now.
Mm-hmm. All the babies, most of the babies are in Angelica's mind.
Oh, whoa, that's such a twist.
Mm-hmm. So, Angelica would have been about 2 or 3 when Dee Dee had a stillborn baby.
Shut up!
Named Tommy.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
If that's really what it is.
So to cope with this death, she made up Tommy. And that is why Stu, his dad, the toy maker, is always like frantically downstairs making toys for the child he wishes he had that was not born.
Yeah. And he would almost like, he's obsessing on it almost. Like he's constantly like, he's trying to make it better. And that's why
Stu is like, why are you down here making all these stupid toys? Go do something else with your life.
Yeah, what do you need the toys for? You don't even have a kid.
Yeah. Yep.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm absorbing. I'm just like, whoa. Because I never. Yeah.
And so Tommy is her imaginary friend.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do Chucky.
Yeah, Chucky. I like Chucky. It's so cute.
So Chucky, his mom died either in a car crash or during childbirth.
Yeah.
Except Chucky died too. He was either in the car or died during childbirth as well.
Oh, wow.
So Angelica knows about that, and that is why Chaz, Chucky's dad, is so like frantic and like crazy because he lost his wife and his child.
That makes sense. Like that would make you feel that way.
And then Angelica heard about Chucky's car crash and she made that imaginary friend, and that's why he's the only one that's scared of everything because of how he died.
It must have been violent. It must have been the car crash because it must have been something traumatic to make his spirit feel like he's always like panicky and
that's
scared.
why Angelica made him scared. And then get this, the twins, they never were born. They never had a chance to be born because their mom, pro-feminist, aborted them. And Angelica didn't know if it was going to be a boy or girl, so made one of each. Fell in love.
Oh, that makes sense.
So since Angelica's 4, she doesn't understand what happened or why all of a sudden you're pregnant and now you're not. So she made them up.
And it would make sense that she would make up a male and female because, like you said, boy or girl, she doesn't know.
So she made it. And, Yep. And the only real baby was born after Dee Dee's stillbirth with Tommy, and it is Dill, because Dill doesn't talk. He's a real baby.
True. Yeah, he doesn't talk.
So as he grew up, Dill wasn't going along with Angelica's hallucinations because he'd be like 2, 3, starting to talk, and he'd be like, "There's nobody there, Angelica. You're fucking crazy." And so what does Angelica do? She hit Dill so hard that it did permanent damage to him, neurologically and physically.
And that's why he didn't talk until he was 11?
No, but he didn't talk because he was real.
Oh, sorry.
His 1-year-old.
No, I was like, this bitch gave him brain damage. He can't speak.
No, Tommy's 1, and he has the vocabulary of a 4-year-old.
No, I know, yeah.
But Dill never does. And that's also why later on, he's always wearing a beanie because his head is so fucked up. And then he's also kind of slow.
Yeah.
Because Angelica fucked with him so hard when she was little, right? So her friend Susie is real as well. And she enabled Angelica by going along with her imagination, which is cool because 3, 4-year-olds would. They're playing house, they're playing doctor, whatever.
It's all about your imagination.
And so Susie's 4. I mean, who can blame her? She didn't think that Angelica was really seeing these fucking people, you know?
Yeah, and that's how you learn and you play pretend and stuff. Yeah.
So as they grow up, Angelica becomes a heroin user because of the guilt, because of Dill. By her really fucking him up.
And then also she has that addictive naturally in her because she was probably addicted to it. Because, when babies like that, they're born, they're usually addicted. So she had that back in her. Already there.
And then Susie distances herself also and all grown up.
Yeah. I mean, of course she would. Yeah.
Because Angelica's a heroin user.
Yeah.
And then Angelica dies of an overdose at age 13. And that's 13? That's why they stopped having All Grown Up. The Rugrats was canceled after that. You never see Angelica or anybody older than that.
Wow. So young.
So then Susie grows up. It just keeps going.
No, yeah, I'm loving this because I've never heard this.
So then Susie grows up, and she is actually the creator of the Rugrats TV show to help her cope with everything she had seen growing up around Angelica.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. What do you think? Pretty intense, right?
Yes, very intense.
Isn't that crazy? Doesn't that just like totally fuck with your head
It
on?
does, because it's like
why is that happening to my cartoon? Like, I grew up with this cartoon. What is wrong with people?
And it's so funny because when you're like, oh yeah, I have like a mini-sode on like the Bonasode on Rugrats, I'm like, I don't really remember Rugrats too much. And then as we're talking, I remember so much about Rugrats.
Yeah, it was on the air from like 90. It started in 91 or 92.
Yeah,
and
I used to watch
the movie
it.
didn't even come out until 98, and then the next movie came out in like 2000, and then All Grown Up came up after that in like 2002.
Yeah.
So it was like literally on the air for like 15 years.
It's so long.
Or probably 13.
13 because
because of Angelica.
Whoa.
But yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's a lot to take in though. It's if that's really what it is, and that's really sad because is this like based on real life then? Yeah, because then they would have created this show to cope with all the stuff that really happened.
But the creator said it's not, that's not at all what happened and that people are crazy. But I still think it's fucking crazy out of all the conspiracies on different, because you'll see different movies, Disney movies, and how Pixar has it all in the same like universe.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you have the Marvel comic universe or this.
Yeah.
Pixar, supposedly every Pixar movie is in the same universe.
Huh.
And so they and people have substantiated it, and I think that Pixar, because they're still making movies, I think that they're going with it and trying to do that, because there's so many Pixar, they call them Easter eggs, Disney Easter eggs, where you in every Pixar movie you'll see the Pixar ball, and then in every Pixar movie, well, most of them, you'll see the pizza port truck from Toy Story.
It's like the little critter books where you always see the spider.
Well, I always saw the mouse. That was so
I
funny.
always saw the spider.
So you guys, we have the little critter books here at my house because my kids are still like little enough to read them. And I was like, look, every book always has the little mouse. And Heather goes, nuh-uh, it always has the little spider on every page. And I'm like, no way, here's the mouse. And she goes, well, here's the spider. And I'm like, that's so crazy, because it is. Both of them were on every single page of all the books. But I always saw the mouse and she always saw the spider.
I always saw the spider.
And it's so funny. I wonder if there's something else. Do you guys read? Does anybody else read the little critter books? What did you guys find when you were little? The spider or the mouse or something different?
Yeah, I don't even remember ever seeing a mouse. I always saw the spider. But, I mean, those were some of my favorite books when I was little.
Yeah, I like those. Those and the Berenstain Bears. It was like the little critters came first. That was like preschool, kindergarten, and then you advanced up to the Berenstain Bears.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fun. I wish I could go have nap time, be a kindergartner again, and go do nap time.
We can have nap time right here in our little fort.
Okay, guys, so that was our bonusode on the Rugrats. What do you guys think? And let us know let us know.
Yeah, let us know what you think, and don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and listen to us where you listen to all your podcasts.
Thank you. Bye.